Wine pushed the door open with a soft creak. Her steps slow and heavy from the exhausting day at college. Her bag slid down her shoulder, nearly hitting the floor as she let out a quiet sigh. Her face looked drained, and her mind was already halfway to her cozy bed. But the moment she stepped into the living room, she froze. Two unexpected figures were seated on the sofa. Mi Young's parents. Her eyebrows lifted in surprise. She had not been told guests were coming. Still, manners first. Forcing a tired but respectful smile, Wine walked toward them and bowed her head slightly. Hello, Auntie, how are you? She asked warmly, leaning in to give Mrs. Jones a soft, affectionate hug. She had always liked Miriam's mom, kind eyes, a soothing voice, and a natural motherly warmth. But then her gaze shifted. Only then did she notice the man seated quietly beside her, tall, serious, almost unreadable. Mr. Jones, Miriam's father. She blinked momentarily, thrown off. He barely ever visited. The only time she had seen him was once during a school parent teacher meeting, and even then he had been stiff and quiet. Still, Wine gave a polite note. Hello, uncle. She added softly before she could sit or ask anything more. Footsteps approached from behind. Her mother stepped out from the kitchen, wiping her hands on the edge of her apron. You're back. Good. Go change and freshen up. They have been waiting a while. Okay, she muttered, flashing a polite smile to the guests and slipping away quickly. As soon as her bedroom door closed, she dropped her bag like it weighed a ton. Her hoodie came off next, followed by her shoes. As she dragged herself toward the bathroom, the cold shower was the only relief she had all day. Water rushed over her skin, washing off not just sweat and fatigue, but a strange tension she had not even realized was building up inside her. 20 minutes later, she was dressed in her favorite oversized hoodie and soft cotton pants, her hair tied into a messy bun. She fell onto her bed like a limp doll, staring up at the ceiling, her thoughts starting to twist. Why did they come so suddenly? She murmured. Mrs. Jones often dropped by, but Mr. June, that was unusual. He never joined. Something didn't sit right. Her brows furrowed in thought. Young introduced me to him once during a parent meeting, but he never visited after that. She shook her head, sighing again, too tired to make sense of it. But then the bedroom door creaked open. Her mom stepped in, arms folded, wearing that look Wine knew all too well. Part scolding, part something else. Why are you laying there like a hen? The guests are still downstairs. Mrs. Jones been asking about you. Mom, you know I don't like sitting with guests. She whined, pulling a pillow over her face. Get up also, I need to talk to you about something important. You peeked from under the pillow. Very. Now what? She murmured, already bracing herself. Her mom stepped closer, her voice suddenly softer, suspiciously gentle. They didn't just come to visit, they came with a marriage proposal for you for their son Jungkook. And then, what? She gasped, sitting bolt upright on the bed. Don't scream like that, they will think I beat you. But mom, you know, I'm still studying. How can you even think of this right now? It's not like he's gonna to rip your books apart. You can still study after marriage. But I don't even know him. He's smart, responsible, and already the chief executive in his father's company. He practically runs their business. Wait, Miyang's brother. Oh god, she told me once he's cold as ice. That's better than being too friendly. Cold men stay loyal. He's serious, grounded, and doesn't run around chasing girls. Isn't that what every girl dreams of? Please, mom, I don't want to get married right now. You can just decide this for me. I'm not just deciding, I have seen how Mrs. Jones looks at you. She genuinely likes you. You will be respected, you will be safe, and I. Her voice cracked just slightly. I just want to see my daughter happy before I grow too old to arrange anything. Once her clenched, her mom always played this card. Mom, don't say stuff like that. You're not going anywhere. But this is too much. Just meet him, that's all I'm asking. For once, don't be so stubborn. Why didn't reply, her lips pressed into a thin line as her mom walked out of the room, closing the door softly behind her. She sat frozen for a few seconds, her thoughts a tangled mess. Marriage to Jungkook, she barely even remembered his face. Suddenly, something shifted. Out of the corner of her eye, a flicker of movement passed by the balcony window. Her heart jumped. She turned quickly, eyes searching the curtain gently, swaying from the fan breeze. Nothing. Maybe it's just my illusion, she whispered, pressing her hand to her chest, trying to calm her racing heart. She exhaled deeply and stood up. Reluctantly, she stepped out of the room and made her way downstairs, unaware that someone had indeed been watching her, but had vanished before she could look twice. As Wine walked down the stairs, the voices from the dining area started to grow clearer. Polite chatter, soft laughter, but then she froze mid steps. Her eyes landed on him. Jungkook, sitting there quietly in a crisp black shirt, sleeves rolled up just enough to reveal the expensive silver watch around his wrist. He looked nothing like the Warrior she barely remembered from Mi Young's college pickup day. Back then, he was just a stranger behind the wheel of a black car. Now he was sitting in her house. She felt her breath hitch, remembering the fleeting eye contact they shared that one time, just a blink and he was gone. Back then, she didn't think much of it, but today he was here for her. Wine quickly avoided her gaze and walked past the living room, heading straight to the kitchen, pretending she had not seen him. Mom, need help with something? She asked, her voice deliberately casual. Her mom was already setting out trays and bowls. Yes, set the dishes on the table. Everything else is ready. Nodding, Wine began placing plates, spoons, and napkins on the dining table with careful precision, but her fingers trembled just slightly. She could feel something a weight on her back, like someone watching her. She dared to glance up, and there he was again. Jungkook, eyes locked on her like she was something out of reach. Sharp, unreadable, intense. His gaze didn't falter, and it made her stomach twist in discomfort. She looked away immediately, walking back into the kitchen, trying to focus on breathing. Soon, her mom called everyone to the table as they took their seats. One sat beside her mom, keeping her eye down. The clinking of spoons, small talk between elders, and the aroma of homemade dishes filled the air. But that case, it had not moved. She could feel it burning into her so much that she finally glanced sideways. He was still staring. Cold expression, no smile, just watching her. She quickly turned her eyes to her plate, and then Mrs. Jones' soft voice broke the silence. My dear, since you and Mia are such close friends, I have always felt like I already know you. And today, I'm really happy to be here. I'm sure your mom must have already explained why we have come. One's hands gripped the edge of the tablecloth, her throat tightened. Yes, she did. She sat quietly, eyes still on her plate. Her father was there too now, sitting at the head of the table, nodding calmly. Mrs. Jones leaned toward gently. I want you to know we're not here to pressure you. Only if you feel okay with this proposal, we will move forward. Are you comfortable with the idea? Wine gave a small nod, not trusting her voice, but her thoughts screamed. You say you're not forcing me, but my mom literally dragged me into this. Oh God, where have I gotten stuck? She sighed deeply. There was no way out of this clearly. Everyone looked so expectant, so certain. So she nodded again. Okay, she mumbled, and from the corner of her eye she catched a smile on his face. John Jungkook, the cold, unreadable iceberg, actually smiled. It was faint, but it was there, like victory. Wine rolled her eyes so hard they almost got stuck. Her mom clapped her hands joyfully. Congratulations, I'm so happy. Honestly, they are a perfect match. Mrs. Jones smiled graciously. Mr. Jones nodded once, and just as Wine began poking at her eyes, hoping this ordeal would end soon. Auntie, he spoke calm and composed. Can I talk to her in private? The entire table went silent for a moment. Wine's head snapped up, eyes wide. What? She blurted. Her mom nudged her with a warning look. Take him to your room, Wine. She stared at her mom like she just got betrayed in a K drama. Why a room with him? Is this even real life? But the elders had already moved on, sipping water and pretending like this wasn't a whole scandal. Wine got up from her chair with the fakest smile she could possibly manage. Sure, this way, she said sweetly, with teeth clenched behind her lips. As she led the way up the stairs, her hands were fists, her mind screaming. Why does he want to talk to me? To scare me? To saying yes properly? To stare at me some more like a mannequin? She opened her bedroom door and stepped inside, turning to face him. You have 5 minutes. After that, I'm throwing you out the window. Jungkook stepped inside, his presence filling the room like cold smoke, but he didn't look around. He didn't sit. He just looked at her, that same intense gaze, now closer, now heavier. I know you are not happy about this. Wow, what gave it away? My sparkling smile at the twitch in my left eye. He ignored her sarcasm. But I chose you, not just because my mother wanted it. I told her it had to be you or no one. Her heart paused. Excuse me? You don't even know me. He stepped closer. I have seen enough. Once glance was enough. I don't smile for anyone but you. He tilted his head slightly. You make me feel something. She blinked, catch off guard by the sudden shift in his voice. Softer now, but his expression stayed unreadable. Well, maybe you should try a therapist, not a wedding proposal. He actually chuckled, a deep, rare sound. You'll get used to me, wine, because once I wanted something, I make sure it's mine. He turned, calm as ever, and walked out, leaving her standing there stunned, confused, and honestly a little mad. What the hell just happened? She sat on her bed, staring at the closed door. Is he obsessed or just crazy? Why me? Why now? Why is my life turning into a suspense drama? And yet, her fingers reached up to touch her cheek. She had not realized she was blushing. The next morning, Wine went to college, adjusting her bag over her shoulder. The engagement conversation still waiting on her mind. The campus buzzed with morning energy, laughter, rushing feet, and the familiar rustle of pages from students cramming before lectures. But the moment her eyes scanned the entrance gate, a wide smile pulled at her lips. There she was. Mi Young, standing with her hands on her hips, a knowing smirk already painted on her face. Well, well, look who finally decided to show her engaged face at college. Wine groaned, reaching her and swatting her lightly on the arm. Don't start already. I'm still processing the fact that my mom sold me off like a clearance sale item. Miyong laughed, looping her arm around Vines as they started walking toward the building. Oh, come on, you're acting like she sent you to the gulag. My brother isn't that bad. His cold like dead inside, judgmental eyes stare into your soul cold. Well, congrats, babe. That's the exact personality of 99% of male leads in all our favorite dramas. You're basically the female lead now, Wine chuckled. Oh yeah, where's the host and my tragic backstory? They both giggled, brushing shoulders as they climbed the stairs. But then Wine's steps slowed. Her gaze flicked to the side, there near the back garden fence. A tall figure dressed in all black, hoodie drawn up, a face mask hiding everything but his eyes, and those eyes. They were staring again. Her bruised throat. Okay, that's the third time I have seen that guy. Who? Why nodded subtly in the direction. That one, all black, looks like he came out of a spy movie. He's always just there, watching. Miyang squinted toward the direction, then shrugged. Maybe he's a lost fashion student or a vampire. Honestly, he could be either. Great. If I disappear, call Jungkook. He's cool enough to eye someone down if needed. Miyang wiggled her brows. Oh, so now you're thinking of calling my brother for help? That's married couple behavior. Wine rolled her eyes dramatically. Relax, I still have time before I'm legally stuck with your iceberg brother. Speaking of which, she sighed then turned to Miyang. As they stepped into the corridor, your brother came over yesterday. I said yes, your mom is lovely as always, and your dad very quiet. But Mia clasped her hands like a fangirl. He asked in my CEO brother. Gosh, wine, I never imagined this. My best friend and my brother under one roof. I'm literally going to have popcorn every day while you two try not to kill each other. Popcorn, me young, please prepare water. I need an exorcism. Miyang burst into laughter. Stop being so dramatic, you said yes. That means something sparked. Yeah, my patience, it sparked and burned out. Still giggling, they entered the classroom, the usual chatter of students, chalk dust in the air, and the smell of old books surrounding them. Miyang plopped down into her seat, pulling wine with her. On a serious note, I'm kinda happy. You're someone I trust and my brother well. He may look like he eats emotions for breakfast, but he's loyal, protective, and if he chooses you, he will fight the whole world for you. Wai looked at her, surprised by the sudden sincerity. Then she softened. I hope you're right, but if he makes me cry, I'm blaming you. Deal, but only if you swear to tell me everything, every step. I want the drama and the romance. Fine, you're the main reason I might survive this. They smiled, linking arms over the table like two chaotic besties bracing for the most unpredictable love story ever. And outside, near the campus gate, the man in black adjusted his mask and slowly walked away. After the final bell rang, students poured out of the college gates, flooding the streets like a tidal wave of chattered and exhausted sighs. Violet adjusted her bag and stretched her arms. The long day finally coming to an end. Miyang walked beside her, sipping on iced coffee, humming a soft tune. On a lift I drove today, we can play your sad playlist and cry together on the way home. Tempting, but no, I need to stop by the grocery store. I'm out of all my emotional support snacks. That means ramen, chocolate, and chips, obviously, and banana milk. Or, alright then, text me if you see another mysterious black hoodie stalker. One roll her eyes with a teasing smile. Very funny. She waved and turned the other way, heading toward the nearby grocery store. She filled her basket with everything she needed: chocolate bars, ramen packs, spicy chips, banana milk, and even a few face masks for late night self care. After paying, she adjusted the shopping bag in her arms and began walking through the quiet alley shortcut to her street. The alley was shaded, quiet, and far too empty. That's when it happened again, that feeling, the crawling sensation up her spine. She slowed down, pulled one earbud from her right ear, turned. No one. The alley was still. Her heart beat faster, but then something darted past her foot. She jumped back, startled. A stray cat stood there, tilting its head as if it had just trolled her for fun. You little kitten, you scared me. Letting out a small, nervous laugh, she opened a biscuit packet and crouched down to feed it. Here, don't follow people like that again, okay? Once the cat purred and walked away, Vine straightened herself with a sigh and started walking again, but she didn't get far. Suddenly, a hand gripped her wrist. She froze, her breath hitched. Eyes wide as she turned sharply, and there he was, the man in black, hoodie, mask, standing inches away from her. Who are you? Why are you following me? He said nothing, just stood there, watching. The tension thickened, then his hand moved slowly, reaching toward her face. But before he could touch her, Vine flinched back and yanked his hand away. Her eyes dropped. And that's when she saw them, the tattoos, familiar, delicate, flowing ink on his skin. Just like the ones she noticed yesterday when he was in her room. Her eyes widened, her heart thundered. No way. She reached up with shaking hands and gently pulled down his mask. You? It was him, Jungkook, the cold, silent, intimidating older brother of Niang, now standing in an alley like a stalker out of a thriller drama. You were the one stalking me, following me for weeks. What is wrong with you? He didn't flinch, he didn't defend himself. Instead, he gently leaned forward and rested his head on her shoulder, his voice low and almost childlike. I'm sorry if I scared you, Whiny, but I was scared too. I wanted to keep you safe. Wine stood there frozen, her heart confused between anger and something softer. You followed me for 2 weeks, Jungkook. That's not protection, that's obsession. He nodded silently, face still pressed into her shoulder. I know I'm obsessed with you. I couldn't stop thinking about you. That's why I told my mom. That's why we came yesterday. Wine stared at him in shock. And yesterday, the shadow on my balcony, he straightened a little, looking slightly embarrassed now. Yeah, that was me too. You are insane. Maybe, but I would still bring you banana milk every day if you let me. Wine squinted at him, still recovering from the emotional whiplash. I'm still in college, you know. I have things to study, a degree to earn. It's not like I'm gonna rip your books apart. Wine blinked, suddenly remembering the exact words her mom used. Wait, were you eavesdropping on my mom too? Jungkook pouted, actually pouted. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I was just curious, and your voice, it calms me. This is so insane. You're the same cold iceberg that doesn't even talk to anyone, and now you're sulking for my attention like a kid. He looked down, shy now. Wine sighed dramatically. Come on, before another cat shows up and thinks I have lost my mind. She walked ahead, not bothering to wait, but Jungkook followed close behind like a tall puppy. They reached the house, and as soon as Wine opened the door, her mom's eyes widened. What on earth? Why is he with you? Relax, mom. He's not here to kidnap me. She dragged him to the kitchen, set her shopping bag down, then took out a banana milk and handed it to him without a word. He smiled, eyes crinkling slightly. This means you are not mad at me. Don't push your luck, Goldie. But her voice was softer now, and so was the look in her eyes. The days passed like pages in a dream, a strange one where everything felt too fast, too quiet, yet too loud inside your heart. You had begun noticing things, tiny things about Jungkook. The way he walked a little behind you so no one could brush past you. The way he always placed your favorite drink near your seat without saying a word, how he opened doors and silently waited for you to step in first. He never said much, not to anyone else. But with you, his eyes softened, his voice lowered, his entire cold exterior melted. And somewhere between the glances, the silence gestures, the way he stood beside you when crowds felt too much, you started falling. Not hard, not wild, but slow, deeply, painfully aware of how much he cared and only for you. 1 week later, your wedding day, the bridal room smells like roses and vanilla scented hairspray. Your reflection in the mirror stared back at you, unfamiliar yet breathtaking. You sat still in a white satin gown that shimmered under the golden bulbs. It hugged your figure gently, flowing down in layers of face, soft tulle and delicate pearl embroidery along the edges. The sleeves were sheer and long, gloved in lace, giving your arms a graceful touch. Your hair was styled back into a low bun with curled tendrils softly framing your face. A silver tiara sparkled over your veil. But your expression was distant because last night's sleep didn't come. You had tossed, turned, stared at the ceiling, your chest tight with nerves. Was this real? Were you really marrying Jungkook? Earth too bright. Are you seriously going to sulk in a Chanel gown right now? You turned to look at her through the mirror, blinking away your thoughts. I didn't sleep all night. My head is splitting. Oh, my poor little Amo princess. She pulled up a chair beside you and handed you a cold drink, her expression playful. You know, I always thought you would run away with some nerdy poet from the library. But no. Plot twist, you got my ice block brother. You chuckled weakly. Yeah, a literal plot twist from a slow burn stalker to husband in 7 business days. Don't act like you are not already blushing when he looks at you. I see that dreamy eye sparkle. You looked away with a small smile you didn't even realize you had. A knock on the door turned your attention. Your dad stepped in, dressed in an elegant grey suit, a proud smile stretched across his face. It's time, sweetheart. You stood slowly, the weight of the moment pressing on your chest. He gently took your hand and you walked out of the room. The soft piano music from the aisle echoed in the distance as the doors opened. Everyone stood, and there he was, John Jungkook, waiting at the end of the aisle, dressed in a tailored black tuxedo, the fit perfect like it was sculpted just for him. A silk white pocket square, no flashy embellishments, only quiet elegance. His black hair was neatly parted, soft strands falling over his forehead. His jaw was sharp, clean shaven, and his doe boba eyes locked on you like there was no one else breathing in the room. Not once did he blink. Not once did he shift, just stood there, like you were everything he ever wanted. As you walked toward him, your heart thudded louder than the music. You couldn't believe it, this was happening. The cold hearted man was the same person who fed stray cats with you and watched you sleep from your balcony like a weirdo in love. You reached him, he took your hand, eyes still not moving from your face. The vows were spoken, promises exchanged. You barely heard the priest over your racing heartbeat, and when it was time, Chunguk leaned forward and gently kissed on your forehead. Soft, lingering reverence. Then he whispered in your ear, his breath warm against your skin. You are mine now. No one touches you, no one looks at you, not even the wind gets to brush your hair without my permission. I'll protect you with my life. Why? Even if it means losing myself. You swallowed hard, the words curling like silk around your soul. You looked up at him, stunned, and for the first time he smiled just for you. The moment his lips left your forehead, the words seemed to fade. His words still echoed in your mind. You are mine now. No one touches you, not even the wind. You looked up, eyes locking into his. The way he looked at you, it wasn't just love, it was possession wrapped in tenderness. It was fire behind eyes. You know, you were scaring me a little. You whispered, a teasing smile brushing your lips as you looked at his sharp jawline. His dark brows slightly frowned like he didn't like that sentence. He leaned down just a little, voice low and full of quiet authority. Good, maybe you should be scared of how madly I'm falling for you. Your heart skipped, and when you blinked up at him, the ceremony had ended. As your father walked you slowly down the aisle, your white gown flowed behind like a soft wave. It had delicate embroidery across the veil, with tiny pearls sewn along the sleeves. Your hands were cold, your mind still overwhelmed, but you looked up, and there he was. You are mine now, finally, and I'm never letting go. You say that like I'm a limited edition item you just bought on sale. He chuckled under his breath and faced. No sale, full price, lifetime deal, no refunds. You should have at least checked the return policy. Did it said warning dangerously cute? Mildly sarcastic, extremely addictive. I took the risk. You stared at him trying to hold back a laugh. Sounds like you got scammed. Best scam of my life. You rolled your eyes dramatically and looked away, but your lips curved anyway. You're lucky you are cute, otherwise, I would have run in the opposite direction. And yet, here you are, in white, looking like you walked out of a dream. You blinked slightly, catch off guard at how effortlessly he could shift from playful to sincere. Cheesy much, only for you. You didn't reply, your heart spoke enough. The world was loud around you, but that moment felt like a whisper only you two could hear. He gently pulled your hand toward him again and whispered low. I know I'm intense, but I swear I'll make you laugh more than I made you cry, deal? Better, or I'll throw my ramen at you. He smiled wider. Spicy ramen. Extra spicy straight to your face. He laughed softly again, eyes never leaving yours, and just like that, the cold hearted CEO and the girl who always rolled her eyes at fate smiled in cynic. You were not just walking into marriage, you were walking into madness, sweet, soft, annoying, forever kind of madness.